I've been doing a lot of inner work recently surrounding my personal fear of being seen as cringe, of being judged. And so I went to a psychic. I got a psychic reading recently, and it really shifted and invigorated me so much. And I want to share with you my takeaways in case that they will help you. What she asked me was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard will you fight for your ideas? Because I told her, like, I have this fear of being judged. I have a fear of being seen as cringe. I fear being perceived. And she was like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard will you fight for your ideas? How much do you believe your ideas are worth it? Do you think that the world needs them? And I was like, yes, without a doubt. I was like, yes, 10. And then she was like, well, there you have it. Like, you have to believe in your ideas so much, and you have to believe, like, you have to think about why you're doing this, whatever it is, right? Whether it's posting videos online, whether it's sharing your poem online, whether it's embarking on your short film idea, your hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christine, and on my YouTube channel, I share my life as a writer and a filmmaker. I talk about the lessons that I learned on my creative journey. I talk about self-development and spirituality related topics as well, because I believe that my artistic journey and my self-development journey are one. And I created this space for you if you are a creative woman like me, or you're a creative person and you're also interested in becoming your best self. Let's talk about how self-development and creativity are connected. So in today's video, I really want to tell you what I learned recently and the mindset shifts that have really helped me surrounding the fear of being seen, the fear of being perceived, the fear of being seen as cringe. All these things are common roadblocks for creatives, I think, or at least I have seen that in my experience, and I've definitely had to deal with that, especially as someone who posts YouTube videos. I share things online. I post my poetry. I am gonna share my films online. Let me tell you, I've been working on my first fiction short film, and I really want to post it on YouTube by the end of the summer, and I've been working hard on that. And I've also made a short documentary in the past. So as I am going further into my art career, I'm dealing with these fears, or these doubts, right? I've been doing a lot of inner work recently surrounding my personal fear of being seen as cringe, of being judged. And so I went to a psychic. I got a psychic reading recently, and it really shifted and invigorated me so much. And I want to share with you my takeaways in case that they will help you. And before I move forward in this video, I do want to give a disclaimer. I know that psychics and consulting a psychic is a controversial topic, and it can be, people have different opinions on it. So I just want to say that in no way am I forcing you to do anything. I'm not suggesting for you to go get a psychic reading. I'm not suggesting that you need one. You do not need any external help, but external resources can support you and guide you. There's external resources like therapists, coaches, psychics, right? Different external resources that can guide you and support you on your journey, but all the answers are within you, and only you know yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. You're the only person who knows you inside and out. You're the only one who lives a day in your shoes. So, I'm not suggesting that this is necessary, but I am saying that I just want to share with you my takeaways, and I want to be transparent about the things I've done that have helped me, in case that what I share with you can help you. You know what I mean? It's just about being transparent here and sharing my beliefs, right? This is my beliefs, and in no way am I trying to shape yours. I'm just sharing a perspective, and the reason I consulted a psychic was because I wanted a different perspective. And I am someone who I have spiritual beliefs. I have a spiritual view on life. So seeing a psychic makes sense for me, right? And I personally consulted a psychic because I wanted a different perspective that aligns to my beliefs, right? And who can speak in a way that I'll understand, And I went to a psychic not because I think that psychics predict the future or can tell me what to do, but I wanted a different perspective. And just to talk things out. And that's the reason to consult external sources, like talking things out, getting a different perspective. That's what we get from external people, right? Like therapists, coaches, psychics, and more. And just to talk things out. So, and that's exactly what happened. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I want to tell you the questions that the psychic, she asked me, and I'm going to ask you, and I encourage you to think on it, because it was more like a coaching session, that psychic reading. And what she asked me was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard will you fight for your ideas? Because I told her, like, I have this fear of being judged. I have a fear of being seen as cringe. I fear being perceived. I'm scared of being seen. And she was like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard will you fight for your ideas? How much do you believe your ideas are worth it? Do you think that the world needs them? And I was like, yes, without a doubt. I was like, yes, 10. And then she was like, well, there you have it. Like, you have to believe in your ideas so much, and you have to believe, like, you have to think about why you're doing this, whatever it is, right? Whether it's posting videos online, whether it's sharing your poem online, whether it's embarking on your short film idea. You're like, I have this idea for a short film. I'm going to start doing it. Why are you doing it? You know, think about your why. And then she asked me, like, what is your why? And then I told her, I was like, you know, I have these ideas, and I really believe in the message. And she was like, okay, like, there you have it. Like, you have to remember why you're doing anything, right? Anything that you're going to embark on creatively. And same with, like, if you're going to do anything where it requires you to be seen, it requires you to be vulnerable, like, you have to remember why. Like, is it worth it? And just, like, carry that with you like a guiding light. And then she also told me that it was like a reminder that when people judge you, right, or people judge artists, it's hard. It's never really talent, right? Like, you could be the most talented artist and you'll still get flack, you'll still get criticism. She said that's part of it. Like, that's unavoidable. And it made me think about how, and like, the artist that I love, I also had this recent experience where I was in a social setting and people were saying that Taylor Swift was cringe. And I was like, what? Like, I love Taylor Swift. I personally love Taylor Swift's music. I love her songs. And people had a different opinion on her. They were like, no, like, that they don't like her. They don't like her music. And that was like, it was just a moment that reminded me, like, wow, like, everyone is seen as cringe. Like, it doesn't matter how successful you are, how talented you are. It doesn't matter. Like, that's what the psychic told me too. She was like, you're the success. It doesn't matter how successful you are, how talented you are. There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be someone who doesn't like what you do, who doesn't like what you represent, what you stand for. And same with, like, and I was in another social setting too, where people were saying that a show that I really like, The Summer I Turned Pretty, I'm excited for season 3. It's coming out soon. It's coming out this summer. But I love The Summer I Turned Pretty. I love rom-coms. I love romantic stories. And I was hearing people say that they think that they hate it. They think it's cringe. And then I was just like shocked at both of these things that people were saying, because in my love, when I love art, I stand by it so strongly. Like, the art that I love, I'm like, I love it. And I don't think about it being cringe. I don't think about that people can possibly see it as cringe. And then that reminded me, like, wow, if someone does criticize me, right? They criticize my videos, or they criticize what I do, and they think they don't understand it. I realize, like, it's okay, because then equal side, there will be people who understand it and people who appreciate what I do, right? And I have found people like that. Like, I have to, and I'm sure that you might have found people like that. Like, no matter what stage you are at sharing your creativity, you have found people that either you relate to strongly or that relate to you strongly. Like, I've definitely have some really supportive people in my community online who have given me, like, the sweetest comments, who have seen my work. Like, for example, my short documentary that I made in 2024, I will never release it publicly because it's a very personal topic. And but I did share it with some people in my online community and other people who I know, and I've gotten a lot of supportive comments, and I look at that project and I cringe at it because of the you know what I mean? Like, 'cause it was my first short film that I ever made, and it was the first film project real film project that I made. Like, I've made other short projects, but this one was like the first cohesive short film that I made. And I, like, since it's early work, it can be better, and I look at it, and even the short film that I'm gonna release this summer, and I look at that and I cringe too, because I'm like, oh, like, but that shows me that my taste is expanding, and my taste is like, it's all experimenting, and it's all learning. And I was even like having doubts about my current short film project, and what helped me really was this perspective of everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, everyone is cringe to somebody, like, and there at an equal level, there will be people who understand what you're trying to do, right? They understand what you're trying to say, and they resonate with that so hard, and you're missing out on finding those connections if you're too scared to show yourself. And that was the thing too. Another thing I want to say is about boundaries. For example, especially if you're sharing things online, like me, I have certain boundaries, like on my social media. Like, if I really don't feel comfortable with certain people seeing my stuff, I remove them, right? Like, I had a lot of fear around people that I know in real life, or people that I've known in the past, right? Like past coworkers, past classmates, and past people that I knew. I had a fear of them seeing my stuff online and thinking that I was weird. I had a fear of being outcasted and judged and by that community, because we want to fit in as humans. Like, I feel like it's just a natural want, right? Like, think about when we were like in high school, or like when we were younger. Like, it feels better to be accepted, it feels better to fit in. But then you have to realize, like, if you're doing something unconventional, you are gonna maybe stand out a little bit, but also, like, maybe you have to stand out a little bit for some time, or stick out, so that you can find people who resonate and people that align with you. Like, I can't tell you how many times I posted something and I thought, no, like, this is cringe, like, I'm embarrassed. But then someone gets it. Either I get a kind comment or a kind DM, right? And and I get a kind response because someone gets it. And there are so many things that if I hadn't posted them, I wouldn't have found like such great online connections the way that I have. So just remember that, if you're feeling cringe, right, you're like, okay, you're like, oh, why do I I don't want to share this, right? This art is so vulnerable. Maybe you don't want to share your short film. You don't want to share your poem. You don't want to share your essay. You don't want to share your opinion. Think about, like, how hard do I believe in this? Think about it outside of yourself, because I think we can get wrapped up to getting our worth and our identity attached to the thing. But think of it as almost separate from you, right? Like, for example, me with my short film, I'm like, getting doubts, like, what if people think it's bad? What if it sucks? But then I'm like, do I believe in what I did? I'm like, yes. Will I defend this idea? Yes. I understand this idea. I believe in it so much. I know why I did it. I did this because I really believe in the story. I really believe in my message. And even if it's not perfect and it's like something that needs work, that just gives me information for the next thing, because it's just one project, right? It's just one video. You can always improve your message. You can always improve the techniques, and you can always improve your skills. And it's still worth sharing, and it's still worth celebrating, because it's something that you did, whether it's a YouTube video that you made, or it's a poem that you wrote that you are proud of. Because a lot of the times, like, when I share my writing online, I am proud of it and I stand by the message, but it's just my fear of, oh, will I be criticized? Will I be judged? Like, but you have to remember, like, is inevitable because everyone is judged. Everyone can't, there's like, so, I can't tell you how many times, like there's a song that I've loved, an artist I've loved, and then I hear another opinion from another person, like even if it's like my friend, and they're like, no, I don't really listen to that artist. It's too much for me. Their music is too much for me, but I love it so much. Like that's like, remember that, like think of an artist that you love so much. You're like, this is art. This is culture, this is everything. And then think about that and think about the other response that they get, because not everyone loves the artist that you love. Not everyone loves the art that you love, the artist or the art that you love. So not everyone will love or understand you, whether you're just trying to post your videos online, you're trying to post, nothing that you do, unless you say nothing, unless you really just say nothing, then you won't be judged. But whatever you post and everything, they're like, I have to think about it. People who judge me, like that's fine, because that's their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and everyone is entitled to their taste. But there is people who, what I post and what I share is going to be everything to them. It's going to be like, they're going to see what I do, and they're going to be like, and they have, like, I have to remember the support that I've already gotten. And, or if people have differing opinions to you, that's their taste. That's their opinion. There's other people who are going to love what you do, and also you have to love what you do. So it's both, right? It's like both those things. Like you have to really believe in what you do, why you're doing it, and you have to think like, do I love it? Is this my taste? And I'm like, yes, it is. What you like matters the most. What you think about yourself matters the most. And you really have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your mental health, you know, with whatever practice you do, whether that's therapy, praying, affirmations, connecting with nature, exercising, whatever you do, like journaling, right? You have to really protect your energy, protect your mental health. That's another thing that the psychic told me. She told me, like, you just have to really protect yourself, whether that's meditation, praying, a spiritual practice, like whatever floats your boat, you know, whatever suits you. Find the practice that grounds you to yourself, because what you think about yourself matters the most. If you're grounded in who you are and you know who you are, when you know who you are, you're like, okay, all these orbiting opinions around me, they're their own mind people. They're people with their own experiences, their own taste, their own mindset, and that's not for me to control. That's not for me to take personally. I just know that I can stand firm in who I am and why I'm doing this, and I know myself more than anyone knows me, because I'm the only one who's lived a day in my life, you know, like you're the only one who knows yourself fully. So just remember that, okay? That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which part of the video resonated with you the most. Let's stay in touch. You know, I'll have the rest of my socials linked down below. I do have a monthly newsletter on Substack. So subscribe to that. It's free. You can get updates from me in your email inbox and more inspiration for your creative journey. I hope this helped, and let me know what you think. I will talk to you in the next video.